If you were, and of course, Easter is coming up. Good to see you. We were just playing a clip, and you were there, and this issue is what we're discussing with Honorable Gachagua here regarding the very catnip issue that is in the public domain right now regarding the Deputy President. And we've known that ODM is not really rowing back on this particular demand that they say this is our irreducible minimum. If you're not really getting this, then we forget about the negotiation. And you also, from the other end, you're saying, oh, that particular support, if it's really coming from Mount Kenya, it hinges on it, predicated on the current Deputy President. So we have divergent view here. And we have also the former Deputy President saying, you know, this is a diversionary tactics that is being played by the United Alternative Government. What is your say?
My say is that ODM, they have a right to demand because, you know, we are in politics and people are negotiating. And also the people of the mountain have an opportunity also to defend their own, who is the current Deputy President. But interestingly is that this position has been made for people to believe like a Deputy President is supposed to be in competition with the President. And that is not the position. If you look across Africa, I don't know how many Deputy Presidents you can name from other countries. Actually, if you go to even to the US, who is the deputy of Trump, you know, the presidency, there's an individual who is there, and that doesn't mean that that person is a dictator or that person is a lone ranger, but that is the position of the presidency, and we don't have co-presidents.
To elevate the prominence of a seat itself.
Exactly.
That you're not also a towering figure that is fighting for
that's what I'm saying. A deputy president should be a helper, a person who assists the president in his work.
Yes.
And so the way the former deputy president has depicted the positions, like you are supposed to be there to compete with the president or to tell him do's and don'ts, I don't think that's the position. And the big question actually people ask themselves when we see the former deputy president speak, and maybe I can ask Honorable Gachagua,
please do.
What had they seen then when they were forming UDA, when there was a lot of opposition? People had refused Honorable Gachagua to be the deputy president, and they were in favor of DP Kindiki. And I think what has happened is that with the current deputy president, he has proved himself that he's a worker. He can be able to go out. He's able to master what the government is doing. He's actually doing the right work now of the deputy president, where he's able to articulate issues about the governance, about what the government is able to do, what the government is doing with its people. So we cannot now say the way Honorable Gachagua is trying to say that if I were here, I would have done this and this. I would have told the president, no, that is not the role of a deputy president. So he is supposed to be a helper of the presidency or of the presidents. And so what the Mount Kenya, they are saying, we gave His Excellency the President, William Ruto, many votes. And so with that, we feel that that position of the Deputy President, even in the future, it should not leave the mountain. And so it is for us to defend. It is for us also to make sure that come 2027, we are also able to mobilize and get enough votes for William Ruto, because at that position, he'll be looking at a person who can complement, a person who can also be able to bring more votes. And what are the ODM saying? We are willing to come with our basket, we are willing to come with our people, and so we also feel like we might be the people to bring numbers more than the mountain, and so we deserve the position. And it's a healthy discussion. This is politics, and everybody is entitled, the position of a deputy president is not a preserve, maybe to a certain region, but what do you bring on the table? The mountain says we actually even got the position of a leader majority because we brought the majority of votes in Kenya in last election. And so what we should now focus at, and that is also a challenge for us as we also defend the position, is to make sure that we mobilize our people and to make sure that those votes are going to be again for His Excellency William Samoei Ruto. So how things are, or how things will unfold, we are only almost at the final stretch. You know, we are now almost at the, in the evening. We are almost going to the election next year. So it's for us to position ourselves. It's for us to ask, why are our people not happy? What are they lacking? Maybe what are those promises that were given that have not been able to be achieved or delivered? And what can we do between now and August this year, because by August this year we'll be remaining with only 1 year. And so I am a member of parliament. We have a role as parliament. Now we are passing the supplementary budget. We are not doing the final BPS, which also is like the final really for the government to perform or be able to achieve. Then we should be looking and coming in the budget and saying, so which areas do we need now to cover? And I think that's the healthy discussion which we should be having now as a nation, and especially for people who are in leadership. Yes.
All right, so he thinks that this is a diversionary tactics that is coming from the government and the ODM, so that we may not really paint the president in a bad picture that has been the narrative all through.
I'll say he's entitled to his opinion, because everybody, that's his own opinion, but you can't stop people from having a discussion. We can also say when they're going out, they are trying to divert people from seeing the achievements that this government has already, done, and so they focus on the things might be that the government has not managed to do. Interestingly, not looking also at the things that the government has also managed to do, and also criticizing. You hear people saying SHA is not working, and we have many testimonies that SHA is working. So if it didn't work for one person, if then we have